Hi there, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how I made little Queen Elizabeth I here, which I hope you can see. She's really light because of her white makeup. But she's a really complicated model. She took around maybe 3.5 days to make actually, which is longer than I'd anticipated. I'm really pleased with it, so let me go and show you how I made her. So to get things started, I'm just going to wipe down my clay board with a wet wipe, always a good thing to do. And because I'll be working with a really light skin tone, I'm just mixing a light skin tone here with a lot of white clay. I think the makeup was called Venetian Ceruse of the Elizabethan times, so I just need to ensure that my model reflects that well. And Elizabeth is quite a difficult subject to work on because she looks really different in all the paintings of her at the times. So I'm just going to go for my own interpretation really. But I'm going to loosely base her on this painting here, which is by an unknown artist, but you know, it's quite a well-known painting of her, so it's a good one just to base my model on. I know she looks like a bit of an alien here, but I've just put some wire in her head because her hair is going to be quite ornate, so I just want it to be supported. And for the base, I don't need to use any particular colour really, I just need kind of like a neutral colour, so it's a good excuse to use up all my spare clay and just mix it into something that's kind of acceptable really. If you're interested in model making and you're kind of new to it, I uploaded a tutorial to Skillshare fairly recently on how to make a basic model, so you might find that of interest. I'll leave a link below as to where to find the class, and when you sign up with the link you can get a free 2-month trial, which is always a good thing, so it's always worth doing actually because there's loads of different teachers on there. Loads of different tutorials on all sorts of stuff really, so by all means go and take a look if you're new to Skillshare. I find it a really useful platform actually, and there's loads of classes that I still want to take, mainly on kind of digital stuff really. I just tend to use what I know in Photoshop, but you know, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do on the platforms, so I'm really keen to explore what I could do on Photoshop really. So now it's time just to add the body to the base. Because the Elizabethan costumes were highly ornate and absolutely huge, I'm going to rein it in for this model. Because I work with coloured clay, it's sometimes quite difficult to create a base underneath your clays, so I end up using quite a lot of clay really, so I'd like to minimise that where possible really. And I want to ensure that I give a good bake as well, so I'm going to use some foil where I can, just to bulk the skirts out further, which is always a good thing to do, because I think the skirts actually are probably the most difficult thing to make with polymer clay, or certainly coloured polymer clay, because I know it looks really easy, but you've always got a join to worry about, and if it's a full skirt as well, it can be quite a challenge to do without making it look like a complete mess really, so hopefully this will go alright. Thankfully I don't have to create a join on this skirt though, because there's an opening to the front of her dress, so yeah, I don't have to worry about that today, which is pretty good. And I'm going to be using some seed beads here, the little kind of pearlescent ones, which are really nice, and of course this is always a difficult thing to achieve with polymer clay, so, well, in a convincing way anyway, so yeah, that's quite a nice detail to add in. there we go, that's all done. A little bit fiddly, but always worthwhile. And I'll just attach that like so. If you're new to my channel, my name's Lizzie and I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator. And over the last year or so I've been paying a lot more attention to my YouTube channel. So I tend to upload once a week, twice a week whenever I can. I upload a variety of contents. So there's some creative process videos such as this one, some tutorials and some studio vlogs, and I'll be keen to add some further studio vlogs to my channel as well, but I've also got some bits and bobs about clay illustration as well. So if you like what you see, by all means subscribe, as it'd be great to have you around. So there, it's coming together pretty well now. In case you missed it, I made Elizabeth's dad a little while ago, old horrible King Henry VIII, so I'll just link to that above if you've not seen it, because it's quite an interesting one and another pretty ornate character to make. I don't know why I keep making super complicated models for this channel, but this one's quite a nice thing to do considering I've just uploaded a load of badge tutorials recently, but it was, yeah, for Halloween really, so, you know, why not? I guess I need to think about some kind of Christmas themed videos soon, because that's obviously fast approaching, so if you have any suggestions, by all means let me know. I did do a load of mini tutorials last year, there must be about 15 maybe, so go and take a look at those if you're interested in doing some really quick little things for Christmas. There's a lot of things there that would work maybe as tree ornaments, etc. So it's quite a nice little kind of fun activity if you're a bit bored one afternoon. So all these little ribbons are quite difficult to make really in a convincing way, but I think I've done an okay job. If they're a little larger, I'd put a lot more detail into them, but when they're so small like this, it's really quite difficult to make them detailed, but also pretty secure in that they kind of won't break. So there's always kind of a balance to be made there. And now I'm moving on to the rafts, and this will make her hopefully look a lot more like Elizabeth. And yeah, that kind of contrasts pretty well really. So I need to build up a bit of bulk in the ruff, so I'll just add another couple around her neck. And yeah, I think that works pretty well. And just a bit more detail there. And another ribbon or two, because, you know, why not? I think this ribbon's actually in the original painting that I'm basing this off, so it kind of works, I think. And I'm just going to add a little bit of detail to the back of the dress, just so it kind of matches up well with the fronts. I try where possible to really think about the back of my models. And moving on to Elizabeth's hair in fiery red. I really love red hair, and I'm very envious of people that have it naturally, because I've tried a few times in my life to have red hair and it never quite works in the way I want it to. But anyway, I need to make Elizabeth's hair as curly as possible, and curly hair is really difficult to achieve with Colours polymer clays. So I think what I'm going to do is just to make her hair wavy and then add just a few kind of curly details at the end so it gives an impression of being curly. And I'll add in some little seed beads again. And because the camera can get in the way sometimes, I've just worked on some details here away from the camera, just with her eyebrows, because I think she needed some actually. I was going to leave them off, but I think she looks better with. And yeah, some other bits and bobs, some hair jewellery as well. So yep, pretty pleased with her. So I think she's ready to bake. And here she is in all of her royal glory. And I think I'm going to make an illustration with her at some point soon to match up with my Henry VIII piece. And I'll probably post that on social media once it's done. So if you're on Twitter or Instagram, come follow me at Disarray and you'll see it once it's done. Thanks very much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.